Okay, so the playoff bracket is set. The regular season is over. I do not know how we got to this point, but here we are. I've got my Vladimir Guerrero exposed jersey on because I'm unbiased. I can't have any bias going into this. I got my chocolate milk, just went for a run, recovering nicely right now. And we're going to fill out a little bracket here, all right? Okay. You know, lots of people, there's different spectrums when you're filling out a bracket. Lots of people do a lot of research. Some people just fill it out for fun, like they do with the March Madness bracket. I would say I didn't do much research on this. Obviously, I watched the season. I watched most of these teams play baseball this year. I think I, I think I made a highlight video for every single team playing, except the Marlins. I don't think I made any Marlins games this year. It's tough. Sorry, Marlins fans. But yeah, I didn't do any significant research because it's just a waste of time. Everyone's bracket's going to get busted. No one wins when making a bracket, is what I'm trying to say. But I just thought it'd be fun to fill out this bracket, see how much stuff I can get wrong, and we'll go from there. What should we start with? I was thinking Cleveland and New York and Atlanta and Cincinnati are very similar series, so we'll start with those two actually. I think I'm gonna pick Cleveland in 3, and the reason why I say this is I think this series is gonna go 3, and I love Cleveland's Game 3 pitcher a lot more than whoever New York is gonna send out. So Cleveland's going Shane Bieber, who's facing Garrett Cole, which is a flip-flop. Who knows who's going to win that? And then they got Cookie Carrasco in Game 2 against Tanaka. So I think there's a good chance that they split those. And then Game 3, Plesac is going for Cleveland, and who are the Yankees sending? Like J Happ, not too inspiring, even though he's pitched better as of late. Davy Garcia, a rookie who has shown to have a bit of flaws. His arm action on his changeup isn't great. Not knocking him because he's a rookie, but those are just the facts. So I'm going to go Cleveland. My subscriber base, a lot of Yankee fans, and they're not going to be too pleased with that, but, I'm unbiased. I'm unbiased. And for Atlanta and Cincinnati, I just like I like Cleveland's pitchers better than the Yankees. I mean, that's kind of goes without saying. I love Cincinnati's pitchers. I mean, I think everyone does. If Soroka was pitching, it would be a completely different series. But I'm going to pick the Cincinnati Reds. And, I'll turn this into a bit of a spin zone for Atlanta. You don't want to see Tommy Mill one. That's what Trevor Plouffe says. Tommy Malone take them out in the division series or the NLCS. That would just be painful because he's going to give up 6 runs in three innings. Or like Robbie Eflin. Is that's a real person, right? Robbie Eflin. I swear, Robbie Eflin. Robbie Erlin. Don't even know his name. Yeah, you don't want Robbie Erlin pitching, do you? Absolutely not. So I'm saving you the pain of seeing your starting rotation just completely fall off a cliff after Max Fried. And I mean, Ian Anderson's a rookie, so how much can you expect? Kyle Wright, I think he has some experience. I think he made his debut in 2018, which obviously isn't a lot, but I mean, it's not too awe-inspiring, even if he split the first 2 games. Yeah, Kyle Wright against Sonny Gray. I'm picking Sonny Gray every day of the week. All right. So we got the Reds and the Indians advancing to the division series so far. Where should we go next? let's just do this the easy one. Dodgers Brewers. Of course, I'm picking the Dodgers. I don't know how Milwaukee makes the playoffs every year. Craig Counsell is a wizard. I don't understand. Now, this series would be vastly different if Corbin Burns wasn't out for the year. Imagine if Dodgers had to face Corbin Burns and then Brandon Woodruff in the first 2 games of the series. That would be tough. But they don't have to, so I'm picking the Dodgers. And, I mean, they have the best team on paper, and if they don't win this year, it's a failure. We'll stick in the National League. Cardinals and Padres. Cardinals offense is so bad. So bad. But, I mean, Clevenger's can't pitch this series. Nelson Lamet got hurt, and I don't know if there's been any update. It said I saw an update this morning saying that they're hopeful he can pitch in Game 1 even. So if that's the case, I would probably pick the Padres for sure, but I'm going to pick the Padres anyways just because Cardinals offense is not good at all. Terrible. And I mean, even their pitching wasn't fantastic this year. So, I mean, you do have playoff Waino, though. Playoff Waino might mess around and throw a perfecto. Where should we go next? Are we gonna go? No, we'll save the Blue Jays and Rays for last. Twins and Astros. Twins. No, I've been a long time Minnesota Twins hater because I never believed in their pitching staff. But Kenta Maeda is an absolute stud. Like, I don't think Jose Berrios will ever be a number one. He's still, I think he's only 26 years old still, so he still has time. But I mean, I don't know. He has such good stuff, but he seems to never be able to have that truly ace season. I mean, I think he's a 2-time All-Star, but I mean, the Astros obviously went through a lot of struggles this year. I mean, Bregman, Altuve, Springer, Reddick not having the greatest seasons. Verlander out for the season. Their entire bullpen pitched in Saginaw, Michigan last year. I don't know if that's true. Saginaw kind of sounds like a single A city, though. Does Saginaw have a single A team? Is Saginaw even a city? Saginaw Minor League Baseball. Saginaw Bears? Is Saginaw in Michigan? Okay, anyways, got a little off track there. But yeah, their entire bullpen was pitching in A-ball last year. I mean, Greinke's going Game 1. They could steal Game 1. Who knows? And then what happens? But Minnesota. I'm going with Minnesota. We'll go to A's White Sox. No, I want to pick the Athletics. I like the Athletics. You know, big Moneyball fan. Great, fantastic movie. One of the greatest movies of all time, if you ask me. And I'm a big movie guy. Huge movie guy. Not a big movie guy. But I mean, like, this year, it doesn't seem like they have that same buzz as usual, which might be a good thing because, I mean, they had buzz in 2018 and 2019, and they both lost in the wild card game. So maybe that's a good thing. But, I don't feel that same buzz. Obviously, Matt Chapman's not there. He's done for the year. Marcus Semien didn't have as good of a year as last year, but I think we need to remember that it's a smaller sample size. But I think I'm going to go with the White Sox. I love the Giolito Keuchel 1-2 punch. The arms, the rookie arms in their bullpen, like Garrett Crochet and Cody Hure, they're disgusting. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the White Sox. So we can have a little AL Central battle in the division series. Next series, Cubs and Marlins. I'm picking the Cubs. That's easy. It's fun. It's a great story that the Marlins are in here. Great story. And the fact that how many, like 18 people were put on the COVID IL list earlier this season. That the fact that they're in here is insane. But their run differential is not great. Now, sure, a lot of that had to do with that Braves game where they got pretty much got dropped like 63 runs on them or something. So that has to do with it. But Pythagoras is not going to let them win this series. Pythagoras would rather die than let them win this series. So Cubs move on. Oh, and we get a NL Central in the. Oh, that's kind of fun. Everyone's playing their division, an interdivision rival in the DS, except for one series, which is going to be decided between the Rays and the Blue Jays. Now, as you know, I'm a Blue Jays fan, but I'm also an unbiased YouTuber, of course. And it appears, we don't know for sure the playoff rotation for the Jays yet, because Hyunjin Ryu might have asked for an extra day, so he might actually go game 2 in this series. So we don't know who's going to start game 1. It could be Robbie Ray with a piggyback option, and then Taijuan Walker will probably pitch game 3 if there is one, regardless. I'm going to pick the Rays just because it just feels like their year. They have, as we all know, the first round, the wild card round, is played at the home ballparks of the higher seed. And the Trop reminds me, I'll tell you, as a movie guy, never read the books, but Harry Potter, those like Dementor things, those like black ghosts that suck the life of you. That's what's in the air in the Trop. They just suck the happiness out of opposing teams, and it just like, I don't know what it is about the Trop. If the Rays had actual home field throughout the playoffs, like, and there wasn't a bubble, I'd probably pick the Rays to win the World Series. But there isn't, so you'll have to stay in tune, because who knows what I still have to finish out the rest of the bracket. All right, chill out. Where should we start now? Let's do the Twins and White Sox. The White Sox, super fun team. Their pitching depth, like their starting pitching depth beyond Giolito and Keuchel, isn't great. Dylan Cease, his peripherals weren't fantastic. Meanwhile, the Twins, I mean, Rich Hill, I'm a big Rich Hill guy. Like, you have Maeda in game 1, Brios, who I don't love, but he's a solid game 2 starter. You have Randy Dobnak, Rich Hill, like Pineda too. Pineda was a stud when he came back from his suspension. So I think Twins have better pitching depth, and although their lineup wasn't great this season compared to last year, they still have a great lineup. So I'm going to pick Minnesota. Oh, wow. Dodgers, Padres. I'm picking the Dodgers. I mean, Padres were fun, but I mean, I'm just telling you right now, I'm picking the Dodgers to go to the World Series. I just can't not. I mean, this is their year. You trade for Mookie Betts. You signed it to an extension. Your team, like Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, didn't even hit that well this year, and you still had a top 3 offense in baseball. Like, their team is impossibly good. You have to get them to the ALCS. I will be upset if they don't make the ALCS. And Cubs and Reds, you kind of have a similar thing. Like, the Cubs star players like Chris Bryant, Rizzo, Baez all had down years, but they somehow won the Central and all Central. But man, Cincinnati. I think I'm picking Cincinnati. I mean, I just love their starters. They're extremely confident. Part of the reason why I'm picking Cincinnati here is because I don't want Joey Votto to get memed. Because he said the Reds were a bad word, nightmare. Bad word. Bad word. So I mean, I don't want my fellow Canadian to get memed to death just because he's a confident guy. Sonny Gray said he was packing for 30 days. So I like that pick. You know, it's a reasonable pick. And I was actually looking at some of the odds for the Reds and Braves game, and the Reds are underdogs in game one, which I mean, I guess makes sense because Fried's also a stud and the Braves have the better lineup. But in game two, and if there is a game three, I bet you the Reds will be favored. So that should be interesting because I think the Reds could be a 7 seed and end up being favored in more of their games than not through the division series if they make it. So what else? Rays and Cleveland. I really want to pick Cleveland. You know, Cleveland has that October baseball feel, you know, that sea. I don't know. It just reminds me of chilly air, you know. That's the one thing I'm going to miss out on when everything's in the bubble. Obviously, it's important. We need it to be in a bubble to ensure the safety of all the players and everything. But, you know, we're not going to get that cold October feel in the air. I love that. You know, last year, obviously, we didn't exactly have that because Houston is obviously in Texas, warm, and it's in Dome. And Washington, D.C. doesn't really have that cold feel. But, like, Boston does. You know, Chicago and Cleveland definitely did. I'm going to miss that. Like, oh, well. Got to do what you got to do, or pick the game. I'm gonna pick the Rays. I don't know. That's gonna be such a fun, low-scoring series if it happens. I really hope it does because that'd be awesome. So we got Rays, Twins, ALCS, and Dodgers, Reds, NLCS. All right. I already spoiled this, but I'm picking the Dodgers. The way that Trevor Bauer is able to recover, he wants to pitch like every fourth day. That's actually a pretty big advantage because you can give like Castillo and Gray, like you can kind of manage their workload a bit if Bauer's pitching every fourth day, because obviously you have no off days in the division series or the championship series. But I mean, the Dodgers offense is just unbelievable, and their pitching is great too. Their bullpen, you know, Bruce Stark-Gratterall and Blake Trinan have like the easiest cheese in the world. Like, it barely looks like they're trying. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Dodgers. We need the Dodgers. Come on, but I think that could go 7 games. But I hope Clayton Kershaw pitches game 7 and it shuts all the haters up. All right, Rays, Twins. I think it's just the Rays year. They have just so much depth. And Rays Dodgers is a phenomenal World Series because the Rays are kind of, Dodgers are just the Rays with money. You know, Foolish Baseball had a meme about that. But Andrew Friedman used to be with Rays, obviously. So yeah, I think Rays Dodgers, obviously that's chalk. That's a 1-1 matchup. But I mean, if you're looking for upsets, like if you're filling out your bracket and say, oh, I don't have enough upsets, that's not a good thing. That means you're like searching for upsets, which usually gets you in trouble. So, I mean, I like this bracket. I think the Reds can go to the ALCS. Blue Jays probably going to force a game 3, probably 14, 15 innings. Shun Yamaguchi going to have a tough 15th inning, walk-off wild pitch. So, but otherwise, the Blue Jays would probably have made the World Series. But for my pick for the World Series, it's got to be the Dodgers, which is tough for the Rays, of course, but what can you do? That was a lot of hard-hitting analysis, gotta say. Dodgers 2020 World Series champions. All right, what are your picks? Do you agree with mine? Do you disagree with mine? Do you think the Brewers are going to ride the coattails of Craig Counsell's wizardry? Please say no, because that's not happening. I beg it to not happen. But yeah, it should be a fun playoffs. 8 games on Wednesday, which may force me into retirement. That's a lot of games. The most I've ever done is 4. So it's going to be tough. Think of me on Wednesday at about think of me once an hour, especially when we get into the wee hours of Thursday morning, because I promise you I will still be working at 2 a.m. Hopefully I'm on the last game by then, but I could be on 6 or 7. But anyways, hope you enjoy the playoffs. Hopefully you can get off work. Hopefully you can get off your Zoom classes and enjoy the playoffs. I'm going to try and do videos consistently on here, whether it's like a review or a preview. This first week of playoffs, probably not too many because of just the sheer amount of games and the sheer amount of sleep I won't have. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. It should be fun. But so playoffs start tomorrow. Minnesota, Houston, first game. Let's go.